Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please do give that subscribe button a tap. I'd love to have you come back and see all the fun projects that I work on every week. So today I have a project that is from the November Hedgehog Hollow subscription box, and I got a chance to be a guest designer with them for this box, and I really think this stamp set is just absolutely adorable. And of course there is a Christmas version that's like an add-on that goes with this. So this is by Laura Kelly, and this is the base character set. So we'll be using this stamp set today along with an additional stamp set, the Heaven Sent stamp set from Honeybee. So from your kit, you'll need the stamp set from the base character set, and then you'll also need the piece of craft cardstock, black cardstock, and one of the card bases, as well as one of these awesome craft envelopes. I am a sucker for craft, let me tell you. So those are the things you'll need from your stamp or from your kit. And in addition, I'm using the scrapbook.com premium pigment ink in white and some white embossing powder. And then I just have a couple of blocks and a blending tool and some masking tape. So that is what you're going to need to get started. And this is a super fun little chalkboard card for us to put together. All right, so everything really takes place on this card's here and the stamp set. You can create any family dynamic that you might have need for. So I'm going to pull out the dad and the mom and the little baby, because this is a baby card. So you need to have the baby in order to make it a baby card, of course. And then in the sample, I use the kind of mid-size boy and the kitty cat and the balloon. So those are all the pieces that I need. And in order to make this whole thing work, you need to do some masking along the way. So by setting up the family kind of in the way that I want them to end up. So he's going to overlap a little bit, and that's okay. And then the son is going to hold his hand and have the balloon. And she's holding the baby, and then the kitty's down here. So there's just a little bit of masking, mostly with the mom and the baby. So I'm going to stamp the baby first, and it's going to go kind of floaty right here. So grab that on a block, and all of these are going to get embossed as I go. Oh, so I guess I forgot to tell you that you need a heat tool too. I guess with the embossing powder, I figured you would know that. So I will grab and just put a little bit of anti-static in place and ink this guy up. And I love doing the white embossing, or the white pigment ink with the embossing powder, because that way you can see that you've got a clean stamped image, and it helps fill in some of the white in case you don't get enough embossing powder on it. So just go ahead and heat him up real quick here. This won't take long. All right. Okay, so the baby is heat set and ready to go for the next step. So Mama is holding the baby. That's cool. So she's going to be kind of like that, but we need to do some masking. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this post-it tape and cover up the baby and get Mom on here. And always throughout this process, can't forget to keep putting on the anti-static powder. It's really important. Okay, so I can see the baby through here. You probably can't see that on the camera, but that's okay. And she's holding the baby like so. We don't want the baby to look like it's floating. So there's the mom. And now I can peel off my mask. Come on. There we go. And so now Mom is holding the baby. So we'll just go ahead and repeat our heat embossing process. Okay, so Dad and Son and Balloon and Cat are not as difficult as that first one because there's no need to do any more masking. So I'm just going to get them all stamped on here at the same time. So Dad stands next to Mom, and I just try to make sure that I'm aligning the feet at the same place so you can tell that they're on the same level basically. And it's okay that Mom and Dad's, the hair and the arm kind of overlap. That one's no big deal. Because, you know, sometimes hair, you can kind of see through it. Maybe she's a blonde, who knows. And then Dad and Son are holding hands. So that works out. And then the Son is holding the balloon. Like so. And then little kitty is just hanging out down here. Alright, so I just need to grab some more white emboss and heat it up. Okay, so these guys are all done. I need to go ahead and add in my sentiment. So this is from the Heaven Sent stamp set by Honeybee, and I'm going to say hello sweet baby. So grab the hello and the sweet and the baby, and I'm just going to kind of position them where I think they're going to end up, and I'll actually be able to stamp these all together. And it's kind of like you wrote it on the chalkboard, right? So it doesn't have to be like straight up and down. It's kind of jaunty, just a little bit offset, like so. And I'm going to grab all three of them with my block. And same process. So ink them up in white and stamp it in position. And embossing powder and heat. Now, when you're creating this card, if you end up with some strays from your embossing powder, or even from the craft ink, don't worry about it, because we're going to now do a little bit of a distressing technique on here to make it look more like a chalkboard. So I'm just going to take a blending tool and get rid of some of that. And I'm just going to lightly swipe it on here. And it doesn't have to be like a consistent look. You just want to get it, you know, as if you have erased this chalkboard before. Chalkboards are very rarely pristinely black or green. So it's nice to get some of that distress in there. So you may say, well, that doesn't look super great. I'd like to make it look a little more swipey. So I'm going to take a wet microfiber cloth. This is what I use to like clean off my stamps and such. And I'm just going to swipe across here. Ooh, not swipe off the page, but swipe across. And that's going to get me that swipey look. So basically it's as if I was cleaning the chalkboard. And if you feel like that's swiped too much, you can go ahead and add more and give the technique another try, like so. Let me wipe this up before I get it all over. There we go. So then all we have to do is adhere, and this card is done. So I did trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4. That way I have a reveal all the way around with the craft cardstock, and I love the way that looks together. And I make sure that I get adhesive all the way into the corners, and I press this down really firmly because it does have a little bit of warpage from the heat setting. All right, and then This whole thing will go on one of the card bases. So like I said, you can customize this to any family because there's all sorts of different configurations. I mean, you basically could create any family configuration you could think of. 2 moms, 2 dads, all sorts of kids, you know. You really could make this totally personal to the recipient, which I think is a fantastic feature of this stamp set. All right. So there you go. Super fun, quick, and easy way to create a really unique baby card. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you're interested in the Hedgehog Hollow subscription box, I've got a link down in my description to head you over that way, and you can take a look and hopefully subscribe to this fantastic resource. Thanks so much for stopping by today, and until next time, happy crafting.